What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, in today's video, I want to give you a quick update on what's happening with Brett's price because it is building a structure that could be absolutely bullish, cause some really strong gains, and you just need to see it. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade some different cryptos yourself from Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Doge, Pepe, and many more, you can use that Margex link down in the description below. Guys, the coolest part is when you do sign up and start trading, you're not going to have to KYC, meaning you don't give them your personal info, but you will get up to $10,000 in bonuses with my link. So make sure that you go check that out if you want to do some trading yourself. Now, looking at Brett here, what we're going to be paying attention to is what has been happening ever since the beginning of August. Now, the easiest way to see this, we're actually going to go up to the one-day charts, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm looking at right now. Because again, if this plays out how it could, a card that's definitely on the tables, we could be looking at a Brett that comes back up towards 15 to 20 cents. Now, what we're going to be focusing in on today is the fact that Brett does seem as if it has bottomed out on this move to the downside that it was in. You guys know, of course, Brett had an absolutely outstanding run towards May and June, especially during that little altcoin season we saw. Absolutely giga-sending. And I mean, these gains were ridiculous. It was what? Yeah, about 500% gains over the course of just a few months. Absolutely insane. But from there, naturally, it saw its first big pullback, its first macro pullback, and it went sideways throughout the summertime of 2024, of course, and we have seen this thing kind of been a little bit downwards since then. But what we can quite clearly see is that since we were in this downtrend, we have seen that trend starting to break. We got the breakout to the upside here. We got a nice little higher low. We got a nice little higher high, starting to clearly try to change directions back towards the upside. Now, in moments like this in which a crypto goes from, hard downtrend to even slight sideways or slight downtrend, whatever it may be, you have to pay attention to the structure that it starts to form because it will start giving you clues as to how this could play out. And the clues that we're getting from Brett right now they're bullish, okay, to say the least. Now, what we're going to be focusing in on is the fact that Brett is putting in what many people consider to be an inverse head and shoulders. Now, what that looks like is, of course, you have one key point of resistance, which is going to be the 10.5 cent level right now for Brett. And off of that, we have started to build a left shoulder, come back up to it. This is called your neckline, by the way. Then you're going to have your head, come back up to it. Then you're going to put in another shoulder right around where that previous shoulder was, right here. And then you're going to go back up towards that neckline. And in instances like this, in which you, of course, have, again, your left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, you can quite clearly see why people call it an inverse head and shoulders. Now, inverse head and shoulders are one of the most bullish structures that any crypto can form, especially whenever you can see them on a daily chart or a weekly chart. Often, the longer the chart or more macro the chart, the bigger the breakout targets tend to be. And in situations like this, what you can do is take the distance from the neckline all the way down to the bottom of the head and then apply that distance, okay, it's equidistant, to the top side. Boom. Once you do that, you're going to go up to where the top of that line is. Again, your move to the upside is typically equidistant to your move to the bottom side here, and this is your breakout zone. So in an instance like this, in which we do see Brett hypothetically completely break out to its breakout target, we would be looking at a Brett that returns back up towards the top of its move previously, which is now its all-time high. And so what I'm saying is that Brett is currently building a structure that if it does play out as it very well might, we could see it start to push back up towards not only its previous high, but its most recent all-time high. That, of course, does look like Brett making a move right now all the way up maybe another 100 to 110%, putting some absolutely beautiful gains in, leading a lot of people to growth. Now, of course, there's a lot of things that are in the way. Thing number one that's in the way is this neckline right here, right? This is not going to be an easy zone to break. The reason being is because we previously did establish this as a key zone of support. As you can see here, we came back down to it and bounced back off of it. Typically, that does establish something as support. And when you have support and you flip it into resistance, it's strong, guys. It's not easy to clear it. Of course, you also have to consider the fact that there will be Fibonacci levels in the way. There will be a macro Fibonacci level right around 12.5 cents that is also going to try to force the price down, just like this resistance zone is going to. So I'm not saying that Brett's immediately just going to do this. It might look something like this and like this, then we run up in here, we come back down, we retest it, and then we break back up, right? It is very possible, but what I am saying is that if we do see the 10.5 cent level cleared, we now have a breakout target back up towards an all-time high for 100+% gains, and I do think that Brett will follow that, especially if we get an altcoin season. So because of that, I do have every intention to start covering Brett a lot more. Of course, I took a little bit of a break because it was a little bit boring. again, not a lot was going on, but things are starting to heat up. Things are starting to get juicy, and I want to, of course, give you guys that content and talk about it as it does play out. And so, of course, don't forget, if you do want to do some trading yourself, you can check out my Margex link down in the description below. Get up to $10,000 in bonuses without needing a KYC. It's all available there for you, and I can't wait to see you all in the next update. Peace out, everybody.